go playing golf, and you're going to like it.
The Pine Valley Golf Club, Pine Valley, New Jersey, one of the most difficult golf courses in the world. The first hole at Pine Valley is a par 4, 427 yards long, which doglegs severely to the right. It introduces the spirit of the course immediately. Off the tee, a large expanse of unraked sand and assorted bushes must be carried. A cluster of pines in the angle of the dogleg requires the golfer to place his drive down the left to set himself up for a clear shot to the green. From the championship tee, the world-famous second hole is 367 yards long. Equipped with the usual Pine Valley hazards, it rises to a spectacular climax, a plateau green perched at the top of a beautiful and terrifying upswing of sand and bush. On this par 3, 175 yards downhill to a green almost totally surrounded by sand, a really testing long iron shot.
Four is the longest par 4 on the course at 504 yards, half of it a blind carry off the tee. The view from the top of the hill is majestic. Cross bunkers are in play for a long hitter, but more often they capture a poor second shot. The green runs away from you. Keep in mind the clubhouse is in play. Carlton Forrester entered the lore of Pine Valley when he played a shot off the roof in the 2012 Crump Cup. But Pine Valley's most famous feat was also accomplished here by the amateur Jay Wood Platt. He birdied the first, holed a 6-iron for a 2 at the second, then made an ace at the third. After holing a 30-foot putt for a birdie at the fourth, he repaired to the bar to steady his nerves and did not emerge to finish the round. Philadelphia's caddy scholarships are named for him.
The fifth at Pine Valley is one of the world's finest short holes, 225 yards long, hemmed in tightly by forest. It is an anthology of hazards. In front of the tee, the ground drops down abruptly to a small lake. Beyond the water, a stubbly hill of rough rises toward the green. On the left side of this rough way to the green's narrow entrance, a series of bunkers sits in wait. To the right, more bunkers and a precipitous slope. Perhaps no other hole on the course better symbolizes Pine Valley. Here, there is no margin for error. The sixth at Pine Valley is a par 4, 391 yards long, another acute dogleg to the right. Between the raised tee and the fairway, there's an awesome ravine filled with scrub oak, scrub pines, and berry bushes. Here on the sixth, the safe tactic is to play out to the left. It takes a carry of 225 yards to reach the fairway via the dangerous direct route to the right.
It looks like he's found it now. Real Pine Valley trouble.
The 7th is the longest hole on the course, 636 yards from the back, with Hell's Half Acre, the sandy waste at its midpoint, filled not just with sand, but clumps of scrub oak and Scotch broom, pine bushes, and mountain laurel. You might say there are no bunkers at Pine Valley. Pine Valley is one big hazard with occasional patches of grass. There also are no rakes at Pine Valley. Golfers are asked to smooth their deepest footprints, but otherwise the sand is left to be tended by wind and rain.
Just ahead lay Pine Valley's most awesome bunker, Hell's Half Acre. The 8th at Pine Valley, a par 4, is a drive and a pitch, 327 yards long. In front of the tee, the usual yards of rough. And beyond it, a fairway that breaks downhill. The small green is very tightly trapped and severely contoured.
The 458-yard 9th has 2 greens as well. Again, the left came first. A stand of trees were recently removed from behind, creating an infinity green when approached from below. As Herb Wynn said, it's the most dazzling succession of second shots available on any course. Recent Tom Fazio changes throughout the course have involved tree removal, opening up the visuals, and exposing more sand. Tees were moved back, hard holes got harder, George Crump's vision endured.
The 10th hole, a tough par 3, leads the golfer into a second 9 at least as difficult as the first. The carry to the sharply banked green is some 135 yards over the usual sandy wasteland. The putting surface slopes sharply down to the traps on both sides of the green. Just short of the green, to the right, is one of Pine Valley's most punishing traps, aptly called the Devil's Hole.
Each is a separate masterpiece, like the zigzag 11th here. The fairway looks 60 yards wide, but the target is the smallest triangle. Framed apart from all the others, many consider it their favorite hole. At the 1936 Walker Cup, the great Charlie Yates composed a parody of Joyce Kilmer's poem Trees. I think that I shall never see a course as lovely as Pine Valley, with trees and sand traps everywhere and divots flying through the air. A course laid out for fools like me, but only God can make a 3.
The 12th at Pine Valley, a par 4, 330 yards long, is a hole that can be quite easy or quite difficult, depending on how well you place your drive. It usually does not pay to try to cut the corner of this sharp dogleg, for the sandy rough cuts irregularly into the fairway all the way to the green. Here, discretion is the better part of valor. On the 13th, a par 4, 446 yards long, two masterful shots are required to reach the green, which swings out of the fairway almost at a right angle and rides high above the tremendous trap along the left. Like all of Pine Valley's par 3s, the 169-yard 14th possesses an abundance of beauty and an abundance of trouble. In front of the steeply elevated tee, a wooded slope drops down to the edge of a picturesque lake. Beyond the lake lies the green, fringed with bunkers, and the tip of a larger lake noses in on the left. The 14th, trouble in paradise. The 15th, a wonderful par 5, measures 603 yards. Here, the long, weaving slope up to the green and Pine Valley's prevailing wind against the player make it virtually impossible for even the biggest hitter to get home in two, or even close. To reach the fairway from the tee, the player must carry his drive 180 yards or so over the breeze-swept lake. 300 yards out, the fairway begins to narrow as it climbs toward the green. At one point, it's barely 20 yards wide. The green at the top of the slope is large, well bunkered, and moderately contoured.
Where to aim your tee shot on 16 decides your fate. 475 from the back. The view is breathtaking down to the lake dug out by Crump when he removed 22,000 trees from the whole property. You never have a flat lie. Why the fairway is divided by a swath of rough is a mystery. Sand catches a pulled second, but push it a skosh, and your ball slides maddeningly into the water.
Pine Valley's 17th is one of its most picturesque par fours, a lovely drive and pitch hole, 344 yards long. The drive doesn't have to be long, but it must be kept away from the rough terrain on the right. High above the fairway sits the small plateaued green with its group of dangerous bunkers. The 18th, one of the world's great finishing holes, provides a magnificent climax to a round of golf at Pine Valley. A 424-yard par 4, it offers a reprise of all the difficulties encountered on the previous 17. The entire hole is locked in a frame of rough and forest. Between the elevated tee and the distant fairway, a long belt of sandy rough. At the end of the tumbling fairway, a water hazard before the huge plateau green, sitting above a wall of hillside bunkers 10 to 15 feet high. No lead is really safe at Pine Valley. You must always get by the 18th.
Well, the world needs ditch diggers, too.